fucking, douchebag that you used to know. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to Buddies on Buddies, the show with two real life good buddies talking about.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
You guys been just getting very frustrated with me and my little audio trouble.
Sexism. God, I was getting frustrated with your sexism.
Look how worked up he is. He is so fucking worked up.
I will not stand for sexism, intolerance, and hate. And you were being very sexist. Do you want to tell everybody what you said?
I said, don't get your panties in a bunch. And who did he lose his mind over that? He got all just suffragette on me.
Let me ask you this. Who wears panties? Traditionally?
Lucas does, and they're bunched up big time.
We can't all wear Walter Whites. What do you wear? What kind of underwear do you wear?
Boxer briefs. The cheapest kind. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So how are you?
I'm fucking furious. You take me out of Thursday night football.
So aggro these days.
You don't know how to use anything. You're like, it's like doing a podcast with my 80-year-old dad,
Hey, I'm not a tech nerd like you.
I'm not a tech nerd at all. I'm in most circles, I'm pretty fucking stupid with electronics.
I'm known for being very stupid. Thank you very much.
True.
Don't give me that tech nerd shit.
And you're like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah. I spent 1 minute fixing my audio and he loses a goddamn mind, even though I had to wait, 3 hours for his fucking football game to be over.
It wasn't a football game, and also it took 15 minutes to figure out your issue. So
15 minutes. Oh, that's what you were 10 minutes late too. So 5 minutes really.
No. This was 15 minutes onto my 5 minutes or my 10 minutes, which I told you about in advance.
What are we doing here?
We're fucking realizing that none of this is worth it, and that we've had enough time together in our lives.
I realized that like a year ago.
We should be roommates again, though, huh?
I miss this, honestly.
How are you piece of shit?
Good, cocksucker. I'm pretty good, I guess. I went to Portland a few weeks back. Went to my nephew's 10-year-old birthday party at this place. But I mostly went to visit my friend Brandon. He has a pot farm now outside of Portland. Have you been to a pot farm yet?
No, I can't say I have.
It's pretty crazy, just like walking into these barns where it's just fucking pot everywhere for as far as you can see. You just think 20 years ago we'd all be going to jail for fucking life if somebody came in here. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed seeing that.
That's pretty cool. I like how the story started where I visited my family, but what I really saw was a pot farm.
Oh yeah, I would have put the pictures up on my social media, and half of them were my Sammy's 10-year-old birthday party playing ping pong and a cake and shit. The other half just fucking pot everywhere.
That's good. That's fun. Did the whole family go, or is it just you?
Well, yeah, me and my mom were there, and the McCloskeys, my sister's family. So basically, everybody that's
So they all went to the pot farm.
No, just I went to the pot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my little special, excursion with my friend. Yeah. How about you? What you been up to?
Nothing. Just hustling like the little sewer rat I am.
Is that on your job interviews? You say that?
You're looking for a sewer rat. Guess what, buddy? You found one.
This sewer rat's got claws.
And rabies.
And I'm hungry for a job here.
Holy shit. We can hire this guy.
Well, we'll be calling you.
No. I mean, I had shit going on, but I really don't want to talk about any of it on the air.
Yeah. No nice with that. Don't do it.
Have you watched it? Well, first, before we get into what you have watched, what movie are we going to dissect today?
This week, we'll be reviewing the 1972 United Artists release, Hickey and Boggs, directed by Robert Culp, also starring Robert Culp and the late, great Bill Cosby.
He's still alive. He's alive and doing well, my friend. Alive and thriving.
I should say the laugh riot that is Hickey and Boggs.
Hold on, shut up. We'll get there. Shut up.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything else you want to talk about?
I love being on a talk show being constantly told to shut up.
Shut up! Shut the fuck! You've never seen The View? Like, come on.
Yeah. Or Bill O'Reilly. What's your point of it? Shut up.
Hey, what did you think of the movie? You shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, it's a good tactic. Kind of wins every argument.
What have you seen outside of Hickey and Boggs or whatever the fuck?
Like newish stuff.
Anything you want to talk about? Anything notable?
Well, I'll just go over a couple of new releases I saw and stuff. Like I saw You Are Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah.
Yeah.
That new
Adam Sandler. Yeah.
It's cute. It's for 11-year-old girls. It's kind of fun to see Adam Sandler playing a middle-aged dad now. Yeah, it's not a movie for I'd recommend to my guy friends or anything, but yeah, it's fine. And I saw the new Dungeons and Dragons movie that came out last summer. Yeah, it's something you watch with your family on Thanksgiving. I highly recommend it for dorks. A lot of comedy in it. It's nonstop fucking jokes. And
well, it's
some of them are kind of funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it's the date night guys.
Yeah, or game night. Yeah,
game night. Sorry,
night. Yeah, it's one of the guys that was on that show, Freaks and Geeks. That's kind of fun to see him because I think they played Dungeons and Dragons on that old show. I used to like that old show. And now he's doing the big movie of it. I think it lost money, though, because I don't think it did very well. I think there's going to be sequels.
It's a shame because audiences loved it, but no one went to go see it. I just think it's hard to get any audience above, 40 to go see it, and then any audience below 18 to go see a Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Right.
Did you see it? I did see it. I thought it was... Yeah. I kind of agree. This is a solid 3-star entertaining movie. And I'm a fan of Dungeons and Dragons. I've played Dungeons and Dragons. I have tattoos of Dungeons and Dragons. My wife's name is Dungeons and Dragons.
You got the Ben Affleck dragon all down your back fucking tattoo. Yeah. I think you took me out to a place to play Dungeons and Dragons one time, and by the time I never played it before, and the time the guy got done explaining it 45 minutes, I just didn't care anymore. I didn't want to play anymore because there's just so much build up.
You are the worst, by the way. I'm not saying this as I'm not. This isn't a hit. This isn't a hit.
Sorry, you are the worst, and I'm not saying this as an insult.
And that's why I walked back.
The worst human being alive.
When did this become Fox News? No, you're the most impatient, jokey person, and that game is not for you. Because you have to get in I'm an elf, but you're just guys sitting around the table, and you're like. How many gold pieces do you think you might spare to cross me, little bitch here? Then he's like, fuck this shit.
I'm the Green Goblin. I have pumpkin bombs. Boom, boom. No, this isn't Spider-Man, dickhead.
You and Andy are our friend Andy are the worst people who could never play Dungeons and Dragons. Why
not? I'm a lot of fun. People have a lot of fun.
Because you have to buy into the reality of it to have any fun. It's a stage play almost.
Nerd. I can't just break the fucking fourth wall. I can't go that far, dude. God, that's asking a lot.
And I know what Andy would say. This is gay.
Yeah, that was his go-to. Just everything. Do you want to go? Want to hit McDonald's? Gay. McDonald's? Gay. All right, fine.
Yeah, really. Yeah, well, we don't have to get into that. Or rest in peace, but yeah. Let's just jump in. I haven't really watched anything worth mentioning, and I already saw Dungeons and Dragons. The only thing I watch is Revenge of the Sith. I really don't want to talk about it.
Once again, Lucas bringing a lot to this table. I didn't do anything. I didn't see anything. Let's just get this shit over with. That's all right.
I'm going to read my new microphone's manual in German. Okay.
Yeah, that really pleased our viewers if we still have any. Yeah,
if we have any at this point.
Oh, fucking! I'll torpedo the show. Ha ha! I win the
day. Sorry. I didn't watch anything of interest. I think we should just because I actually have a lot to say about this movie, so I think we should just.
You didn't watch the Star Wars prequels. Why don't you just cover that real fast? And hey, check out my shirt. You remember the shirt?
Yeah, it's a great shirt.
Yeah. Force was with me at Justin's bar mitzvah, 97. Yeah, got us at Goodwill in Eugene. Yeah, I love the shirt.
And it's going through your bar mitzvah motif you got going on.
Yeah.
Good.
Well,
yeah. That's just good podcasting.
Just good. I'm always you say I wasn't prepared. I'm prepared. Yeah.
No, I've been watching the prequels and stuff of the Star Wars prequels. and they're very stupid and bad, but also very entertaining.
Yeah.
Honestly, if the dialogue were they did a dialogue polish, I might actually like them, in
Uh-huh.
earnest, but the
Yeah.
dialogue is distractingly fucking horrible. And I
But
forgot some of it. Like, I'm in love with you. You're only in love with me because I'm in love with you.
uh-huh.
I'm in love with you like a star loves the dirt. How can a star love dirt? I'll show you. What the fuck is going like it's so inhuman. It's
Well, it's kind of crazy because like the third one, that one you're like talking about, Tom Stoppard, the great playwright who did like Rosencrantz and Guildenstern and Dead and stuff, he did like all that dialogue in the third one. So, but yeah, I remember that us making fun of that, like I can't control myself because I'm so in love with you. I can't control myself because I'm so in love with you. It's like, what the fuck is this fucking tennis match here?
well, I watched it with my wife and she had never seen the movie and she was like, why are they talking like that? Like that's really like
Yeah.
it's so inhuman.
Hmm.
And if that came out today, people would be like, oh, AI wrote that. There's no argument about it. There would be discussion over. This is an
Well,
AI script.
I remember when people were lining up like that was weird, like months or weeks or whatever, like to go see those movies back then. Like someone asked George Lucas about that. He was like, "Well, it's weird they're doing that because these are kids' movies, and Star Wars fans don't want to admit that." And he was saying that like when Phantom Menace came out. So I think he kind of always thought they were kids' movies. I don't think he like really took them that seriously. I mean, yeah, the lore and stuff, he did all that back work, but yeah, when you were saying like these are just kind of overblown Saturday morning cartoons and shit, I think that's right on. I don't think they were ever supposed to be more than that. Just people made them more than that.
And he's right in that that's what they are, but then I don't necessarily believe him because they do have I view them as overblown Saturday morning cartoons. But then
Mm-hmm.
they have, Anakin killing little kid Jedi's.
It's a real boom too. I will do anything to serve the Jedi. I'll fucking chop a kid in half, whatever.
So like it's like, don't take this seriously. This is for
Hmm.
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah.
I don't know. God bless them. No, they suck. Well, I like the first two more than the third one. I remember the third one being the good
Really?
one.
Yeah,
The
that's why
third
I haven't
one
seen
was
them forever too. But I thought the third one was the best one. Yeah.
yeah. Well, rewatching them, it was by far my least favorite. I was like, man, this
Really?
sucks. Yeah, I just
Wow.
didn't like it.
Huh. I haven't rewatched them in forever, so I don't know.
You're gonna hate them.
What me? I thought that little kid that played the Darth Vader was excellent. Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the movie of the week or month
Hmm.
or bi-monthly or however often we get to
I
this.
think let's do it. Let's shoot for monthly, please. Can we just like we go bi-monthly? It's gonna be like once a year after pre-sale.
All right.
Look at that! Look at that! Sigh. God, you're not that busy. Shut up.
It's not about being busy. It's about
It's
spending
about
time
hating
with
the
you.
show.
Yeah. I got plenty of time. All right, Hickey and Boggs. You want
Hickey
to
and
you want to
Boggs.
give the plot summary?
I've been given the plot summary last like 3 or 4 shows. I say go for it.
All right. Two PIs get paid to take a case to find a bunch of money from a bank robbery in Pittsburgh.
No, that's not. That's
Yeah,
not correct.
something like
Yeah,
that.
they're paid to locate a woman and not to notify her. There's just to find her. That's the jumping off point. These two aging kind of I don't know what do you call them, like kind of salty older detectives, I guess, or private detectives, or yeah, find
They're
this woman.
they're world weary private eyes.
Yes,
About
I think
that.
that's what Wikipedia said.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't take the time to look at
Can,
Wikipedia.
can I give you? Can I say the tagline? I guess movie has a pretty good tagline. Can I say it?
Yeah, yeah.
They're not slick heroes. They're worn, tough men, and that's why they're so dangerous. They hold their 44 magnums with 2 hands and keep firing until they hit something. Anything.
That's not really representative of who these characters are, by the way.
No.
But it's good copy. It's good
Okay,
copy.
can I ask you something right off the bat though? Is like because last week you were kind of I won't say complaining, but you were saying that like Cop and a Half was your pick, but it wasn't really your pick because I had X-ate a bunch of picks. So you wanted to pick something that I would say I go with whatever you pick. So you picked Hickey and Boggs. It's interesting you picked a Bill Cosby movie. What was with that?
I it randomly popped up on one of my, during one of my many Hollywood dinner parties. Someone like I heard it.
By the way, have you guys seen a film called Hickey and Boggs? This is most.
And I finished my Coke, tapped it, Hickey and Boggs. No, I came across it and I didn't know anything about it, but it was Bill Cosby and Cup or Culp or whatever
Robert
his name
Culp,
is.
yeah.
Culp, yeah. And I was like, that's gotta be, and they have guns in the poster. I was like, and it's Bill Cosby. So I assumed, it's a buddy cop action movie.
Yeah.
And I sent it to you, like, I'm thinking this. And you were like, great fucking pick. You're like, I
was
can't
like great fucking pick. I was being sarcastic because I was like, I can't wait to watch a Bill Cosby movie because that's my favorite actor.
No. But you were like, that's a great pick. Like, you also didn't know it wasn't. By the way, this is not a comedy. This is
No, it's not.
the opposite of comedy. This is Sam Peckinpah's movies are more hilarious than this.
Yeah, does this have like even one funny moment in it? I don't know.
No, the only comedy, and there's comedy in It's Be Mind is, and their really dry repertoire. They're back and forth, between the two leads. They have a really dry, some really subtle undercutting comments and dialogue that's actually, in my surprise, is very sharp. That's the only comedy, but does not make this a comedy. Like it is. This is
it's not a comedy. I don't think it even comes close. I don't the tone, everything. There's not even stuff like we watch like Long Kiss Goodnight. It's like, well, is this a comedy? Well, it's just loaded with jokes. Or there's not like hardly any jokes in this shit. Well, what did you kind of think overall of Hickey and Boggs?
I fucking thought it was great.
Really?
Yeah, I might surprise you. I thought this was a really cool fucking early 70s cop buddy thriller. I like that the characters were broke and alcoholics. I like some of the turns it took. The camera work was fucking excellent. I was very surprised by it. And I also didn't know it was the Spies Like Us, or not Spies Like Us, what is it? I Spy. I didn't know it was like that's what they did. They did comedies and they came out with this movie. And Walter Hill wrote it, so it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But I thought it was like really well done. It doesn't hold your hand, I had difficulty even explaining the plot because I was really surprised by
what was going on at the time. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was still engrossed in it, and the action was cool, the pacing was good. So yeah, overall, without getting too deep into it, I was very surprised with this movie and I liked it a lot, and I think it's underrated.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm basically just right down the middle with this one. I watched about a week and a half ago, and getting past the Bill Cosby stuff, which we'll probably talk about later. But as a movie, just on its own, it definitely fits that early '70s mold of like the anti-hero. Well, it's private detectives, not cops. But yeah, it was tough and it was fine. Everything about it was fine. They had some cool scenes. I love the apartment jumping scene and like the thing on the beach at the end. But I had a hard time following it, knowing what the hell was going on. I hate looking at Bill Cosby, and the two leads were okay. I've never seen I Spy. And I know this is kind of like you were saying, an answer to I Spy as far as that was all comedy. Now they want to do something more serious, so I could see why it appealed to these guys. But I thought the characters were both kind of boring and flat. I didn't really understand why. I didn't think they were interesting at all, and it's kind of confusing. So I was just, as soon as it was over, I thought it was very kind of forgettable as far as these things goes. Unlike something like Freebie and the Bean or something, which is like, whoa.
Yeah, I think that the characters it felt like they were, and then Walter Hill wrote it, and he's kind of a fucking insane nihilist.
I love Walter Hill.
Yeah, I love him too. So they don't spend time getting these characters. Cosby has a girlfriend and a daughter he doesn't spend enough time with. And Culp is that's his name, right? Culp.
Culp.
Yeah, is a alcoholic. That's all we get from these guys, and they're broke.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But then there's so many cool action sequences, and it's a plot that's confusing for the sake of being confusing. Like,
oh, one of those like Raymond Chandler type things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like Long Goodbye and what's it called? Those are those are bigger movies and better movies. But I was surprised with this, and I was invested, and I enjoyed it very much. So I'm surprised you didn't like it as much. I know the characters there wasn't much character work.
Yeah, I just didn't really. Well, I would think it actually was hard for me to get over the Bill Cosby thing. I mean, like I could still watch, like a Mel Gibson movie or something. It's not bad, but certain people, I mean, I've personally met two Bill Cosby accusers. So his rate, if he was big in a big TV star since the '60s, I mean, if he's operating like that for like that long, he could be the biggest serial rapist of all time. I mean, it's like Klaus Kinski or something. It's like it's hard for me to get past that. Like, and like this guy's a cool act. This guy's a cool guy. I don't know. It just
Yeah.
when you're that bad, it's just like I can't even. My imagination can't go that far.
And you know what the saddest part about all this is? He's pretty good in this movie. No, I'm just kidding. The saddest part is he he actually is good in this, but yeah, it's very hard to
Yeah.
look past that. And I figured this would be a shitty movie, so we could like
Yeah,
make fun of
ghost
him.
dad
But
type thing when you just pile on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's hard to. But this, at least he's a fucking crazy guy with a gun for the most part in this movie. So it's not like
I'm
watching
trying to
the
make you
Cosby
laugh.
Show. Yeah, exactly.
Being the nice dad. Yeah, there's definitely that early '70s like Dirty Harry, Freely Bean, where like they just fucking shoot guys, and it's got a kind of hard edge to it. I will say, Robert Culp, this is the only movie he directed, and he really did, I think he did a couple episodes of Greatest American Hero, that show, like couple. I mean, that's it for his directing career.
Mhm.
And I don't think it was poorly executed. I think as a TV actor turned director, I think it was fairly well done.
There was a lot of confident camera work, where it
Yeah.
would stay in the midsection of characters, what
Mhm.
their hands are doing, like it was very artistic. It was really well directed. I really thought it was. I meant to look up who
Mhm.
the cinematographer was, but because
Yeah.
I thought the camera work was phenomenal, and I don't normally like single those things out, but I was like, this is really confident and artistic and well thought out, and
Mhm.
it was interesting. I was surprised.
Yeah.
And like there's little
Well,
scenes, sorry, there's little scenes
yeah.
like because the three henchmen were great, the three bad guys that we learned next to nothing about
Yeah.
other than that they're psychos. That scene where he's ripping the clothes off the doll, it just
Yeah.
keep and then Rip
Very
starts
strange.
ripping her limbs off.
Yeah.
Very strange, but they make that makes them very scary.
Yeah.
All they're doing is turning an apartment, and you see that
Mhm.
guy, and he's just close up of his hands, ripping the clothes off a doll, and it's just very
Yeah.
uncomfortable and strange. It's effective.
It does capture a mood like the whole time. Just kind of tough, gritty kind of thing. Moods that's hard to do. So yeah, I give Robert Culp. I wasn't familiar with Robert Culp. Are you? Were you familiar with Robert Culp?
No,
I know.
no, not at all, not at
Yeah.
all.
So I never saw I Spy or anything. He pops up as like a senator in this movie in the '90s or
Right.
this thing or this thing, but yeah, it was pretty much I Spy was pretty much it for his like big stardom or whatever. But no, it is like I said, it's competently directed. I will say though, like I don't know what it is about these '70s movies, especially action movies, where every fucking one of them, well, at least a lot of them, have to have a scene at a fucking sports arena, like Dirty Harry, Freebie and the Bean, Black Sunday. Like, there's so many. I don't know. That was just a thing in the '70s. Like, let's just go to a sports arena.
It could be that they didn't do as many concerts there at the time, or something, or they were cheaper,
I
or
don't
they got
know.
wise.
I guess when no one's playing, they're like, well, you can just fucking use this stadium for not. It's a good location.
Yeah,
But yeah, there's so many of that in the '70s. I was like, what did they? Yeah, you're right. They must have had a deal on them or something.
and it's also and in this movie's case, the worst possible setting for a money swap in the middle of
Yeah.
the stands in an open
Everyone can
stadium.
see you. Come to the 50-yard line. It'll be discreet. Yeah.
The janitor from across the stadium. Hey,
What the hell's going on? Yeah. What are you
you're
guys doing here?
supposed to be here. Not only that, in this movie, which I found very funny, even though that was a good set piece, it was intense. They did it
Yeah.
twice. They went to two
Yeah.
different stadiums in this movie.
Yeah. One for a real game, and then just one was empty.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know what that was about. Yeah.
No, they actually did it technically three times because they went to
Oh,
the game when there was a game playing.
yeah.
Then they're like, oh, it's the next day. So they come to the next day when the stadium's empty. And then later they came back to a different stadium. Do you remember that?
Oh, was it a different stadium? That was the same stadium. Yeah.
No, no,
I
it
was
was a
kind of
different
lost.
stadium. I have it in my notes, but I don't feel like looking for it. But yeah, it was but there are also some really dark fucking cool shit. As I mentioned,
Mhm.
the doll hand rape thing, which is very unsettling. But then and I love these guys because we don't learn much about these three um antagonists, these henchmen. But then when
Mhm.
one dies, they like wrap him up and do this whole ceremony where they put him
Oh
through the
yeah, just
furnace and
toss on the fucking furnace. Yeah,
yeah, like a Viking funeral for their mate.
yeah.
Just really
Well,
cool shit.
there's some cool shit. I like the guy, the weightlifter at towards the beginning, where he's just like working out. There's the guy just walk in, he just fucking is like, oh shit, like yeah. No, there it's got some style and stuff. I don't know. I might from since you're really enthusiastic about it, I might give it another watch. Although it's tough for me to watch Bill Cosby, but just for like a buddy action comedy. Well, it's not a comedy. That's what hurts it for the show. Most, but I might just give it another look just for because yeah, I was just kind of well, it's okay. It just was kind of like but I don't know.
And like when the bad guys are in their like sky rise and they have those yellow
Mhm.
tinted blinds, so everything's like
Yeah.
apocalyptic outside. All these
Hmm.
little choices just like really add to this crazy tone and show what these two alcoholic PIs who have no money are up against. This is
Yeah.
fucking cool. They call bitches or women bitches a lot. Do you notice
That's no
that?
surprise for early '70s, like fucking like that Freebie the Bean. Just I got you know what also I think hurt this movie for me just watching Freebie the Bean. 'Cause I was just so blown away by Freebie the Bean. So this thing is just like from that same exact like little era, and it's got you got the two anti-heroes, and the comedy was crazy, the whole movie was crazy. This was just kind of more down the middle, so yeah, but I don't know.
I think that when we wrote Sunset Takedown, this is kind of
Mhm.
what we were going for, like a version of this just with more comedy, you know?
Yeah,
Like we really wanted to make this gritty 70s.
that was the first draft, yeah,
Yeah,
and then by the
yeah,
12th draft it was fucking just this like, absolute cartoon.
yeah. There's also this great line that I put on my notes where they're at the strip club and
Mhm.
the guy's leaving the stripper. She goes, "Thanks, Frank." And he walks away. She goes, "Kill yourself."
Yeah, that's a good comeback there.
There's also
Uh,
the sorry, you go.
well, I was saying, looking into this, like Robert Culp, who I was guessing was about like I don't know, 50, maybe a little bit mid 50s and stuff when this came out. No, he's our age. And do you ever watch like old movies and you like look at their ages and like, there's that meme or something going around where like Paul Rudd is older than Wilford Brimley was when he made Cocoon. You know, your thoughts on these like they're like God, these guys look old.
Well, a lot of it is just advancement in health and stuff like that. Less smoking
Yeah.
is a big one. Fashion, but it's also just actually, I don't know. That's pretty crazy. I'm not the guy to ask this. I don't know.
Well, why not? We have a talk show talking about the movie.
This is
Well, I think they said like yeah, actors take better care of themselves now. There's more, I don't know whatnot, but also I think back then like when you joined the army at 18 and then came back and then worked at the factory, got married at 21, and then
Mhm.
had 3 kids by 25, and like you have grandkids by the time you're like four mid 40s. Of course, you look like a fucking old man at like 50.
Plus, when he found the cocoon, he was already old. Now we've had the cocoon, you know.
What cocoon? What do we have?
Well, the cocoon, you just talked about the cocoon.
Yeah, do you remember the movie Cocoon?
Yeah, it's a fountain of youth. So they found it
It's
when
not
they
the
were
fountain of
already
youth. Well, it
yeah,
doesn't make them de-age. It makes them feel more vibrant, but doesn't like make them younger. It just makes their personalities a little like more, that. You're confusing it with Temple of Doom. Or no way, Last Crusade, where they rip someone's heart out.
when I'm talking about cocoon, I know what I'm fucking talking about.
Fuck with that. Dolphins, Gutenberg. I know fucking Cocoon. Okay.
Knock your mic over. It is a brutal, brutal turn in an already dark movie when Cosby's girlfriend gets killed. Like,
Yeah, that was a little crazy.
and they don't
Yeah.
show it. Another stylistic choice,
Mhm.
Cup goes to his apartment. They've been here, and he calls to Warren Cosby, and he's on the phone. And then
Yeah.
the camera shows little pieces of the corpse of his girlfriend. It's like, yeah, they've been here too. Little things like that. Like it's a brutal, dark, fucked up movie,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
camera does a lot to not show enough, but not show too much, but show enough to give you the
Mhm.
information.
Now, did you? I know we're both confused, but now finding the girl. How does the girl connect to this organization? I was a little confused by that.
I don't think she does. I think the girl was just his girlfriend and they were just getting personal. That's what
Well,
I
that's what they're
thought.
hired. They're hired to find her. So obviously she has some connection to something. But I was just confused. How what's the deal with her? How does
Oh,
she?
I thought they were hired to find the I'm assuming Native American Mexican girl. Not yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, but not yeah. But so I just don't know how she is. She like I know she's connected to the organization, but I didn't know how
Who
or what or why.
Cosby's girl?
No, the Native American slash whatever girl. But I didn't know. Yeah.
Oh, she was dating the main guy. So they're trying to get her because her boyfriend who was in prison is using her to hide the money and sell their money off.
Okay.
Look, again, it's not spell it out for you movie. It's one of those movies you
Right.
need to watch 2 to 3 times to fully
To
get.
fucking understand with all the ins and outs. Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
like the whole beach climax thing? I thought that was kind of neat. Kind of neat. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I mean, for a climax of a movie like that, you have the helicopter come
Hmm.
in, you have the plane trying to take off. You have that
Hmm.
sad moment with those two characters. You don't know that well, but they're the antagonists, but you also like them,
Yeah.
the guy and the girl, and they realize they're not going to get out of there. So they take this embracing hug,
Yeah.
as the helicopter blows them away.
Yeah.
Like it's tragic. You feel for them. And then, yeah, no, it's a fucking badass climax for a movie like this. So many climaxes of movies like this are like in an apartment building, or in a warehouse and shit.
Right.
It's great.
Yeah.
And do you remember the brief scene where he goes and talks to one of the black leader guys, and they're in
Oh
a
yeah. Yeah.
and it's like just hanging off the edge of a cliff, like that
Hmm.
scene, like an unfinished
Yeah.
house.
That was crazy. Yeah.
And even though it's brief, it's an unsettling thing, especially if you don't like
Hmm.
heights. Like I know you don't.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was just like, well, what, are they really just fucking just sitting there, just like like hanging out? Well, all right. Well, how would you rate this on like the your?
Hold on,
I know you
hold
gave
on,
me
hold on, hold on,
oh, you got
hold
four
on,
notes. Okay.
hold on, hold on.
Holding.
Okay, okay.
Just fart.
No, 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 no,
What do
no,
you want me
no.
on for?
I was checking the score of the games. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
Okay, that's news. I'm trying to look at my notes, but I can't find them.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. How would I rate this? I
Yes.
would rate this as a movie. I would honestly rate it 4 out of 5.
4 or 5.
As
Wow.
Yeah, I like really enjoy this movie. I think it's a hidden gem. I think it's well
Hmm.
directed. I understand why people haven't found it. Well, because
Hmm. And they won't find it because it's going to be
no,
it's like buried. Yeah.
well now Cosby's in it. No, and they shouldn't. I'm
Yeah.
not advocating people watch it, but like because before it came out, there's like, oh, these are the I Spy guys. Why are they making this dark, gritty, mother crazy fucking movie? I'm not going to take
I
that seriously.
wanted to.
Yeah, and then afterwards, Cosby became super family and got into sitcoms and became huge. And then now, of
Right.
course, he's a rapist and a predator, and he should be in prison for the rest of his life. So,
Right.
but as a movie standalone, I thought it was really well directed. I'm surprised it's Culp's like only true directing credit. So yeah,
Hmm.
4 out of 5. I think it's a hidden gem,
Hmm.
but with a lot of
Uh,
caveats. But as a
but you
buddy action comedy, it's like a 2 because there's no comedy.
well, I might just raised Scott. I was gonna give it like a 2.5, just because I thought it was competently made. I thought it was a little bit. I thought it was a little forgettable, and that I hate looking at Bill Cosby, but I might give it another review now because of your enthusiasm and stuff. And so I might check it out again just to see if I miss something there, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes like I'll watch a movie like this is fucking lame, and then I'll see it again. It's like, hey, well, actually, this is not that bad. So I'm glad I saw it, but I actually might see it again, even though I didn't like it that much.
Yeah. Tough one to recommend.
Yeah, especially with, my yeah. I'll call up the two Cosby accusers I know. Like, have you actually watched this movie? It's great.
Now I know what you're gonna say.
I know. You don't like the guy. You don't like the guy, but give him credit.
Yeah. So this episode had a lot of meat on its bone. Is there anything else you want to say about the movie or about what we're doing here, about the future of this program?
Not really, but I would for the next episode, as my pick. I do want to get, since it's football season, before football season's over, which hopefully next month, we can get to the last Boy Scout. So that's one I want to do. I've been wanting to watch for a while anyway, so I want to do that one next episode.
Okay, so we'll watch The Last Boy Scout next episode.
Yes. Thank you.
Normally I would throw, a curveball to you and then end the recording, but I'm not going to do that. I just want to hear one of your poems.
One of my poems. Ye